It started with a whisper, the kind that spreads across Hollywood faster than a red carpet flash. A stylist's offhand remark. A phrase that sent fans spiraling. A suggestion, not confirmation, that one of America's most beloved young couples may have quietly taken the biggest step of all. A secret wedding. For weeks now, social media has been ablaze with speculation surrounding Zendaya and Tom Holland, two global stars whose relationship has captured the imagination of millions. But when comments attributed to a stylist connected to the hit HBO series Euphoria hinted at a possible private ceremony, the internet didn't just react. It detonated. And then, something even more unexpected happened. Zendaya's mother responded. Not with a dramatic press conference. Not with a red carpet statement. But with a reaction that only fueled the fire. So what exactly was said? Was there ever a wedding? Was this miscommunication? PR strategy? A misunderstanding blown out of proportion? Or something more calculated? Tonight, we break down every confirmed detail, every credible report, and every ripple effect of a rumor that managed to shake one of Hollywood's most carefully protected relationships. Because in today's celebrity culture, silence speaks louder than words, and reactions speak loudest of all. Background and context. To understand why this story exploded the way it did, we have to start with the relationship itself. Zendaya and Tom Holland are not just another celebrity couple. They are, in many ways, the Gen Z equivalent of a classic Hollywood romance, but with modern boundaries. Their connection first drew public attention during the filming of Spider-Man: Homecoming, where they portrayed on-screen characters in the Marvel Cinematic Universe. While the studio never confirmed a relationship at the time, fans quickly noticed their chemistry during press tours. Playful interviews. Shared laughter. Subtle glances. But both stars consistently denied romance rumors, emphasizing friendship and professionalism. For years, speculation simmered, never fully extinguished. Then in 2021, paparazzi photos surfaced showing the pair sharing a kiss inside a car in Los Angeles. It wasn't a staged red carpet debut. It wasn't an Instagram reveal. It was candid, unscripted, real. From that point forward, the relationship became public, though carefully guarded. Unlike many celebrity couples who leverage romance for publicity, Zendaya and Holland have been notably private. They rarely discuss their relationship in interviews. They do not overshare online. They avoid theatrical public displays. Instead, they've presented a united, low-key partnership, one grounded in mutual respect and emotional support. Zendaya, an Emmy-winning actress for her work on Euphoria, has spoken in past interviews about the pressures of fame and the importance of protecting what matters most. Holland has similarly emphasized boundaries, once stating in interviews that their relationship is something they keep sacred. That context matters. Because when whispers of a secret wedding began circulating, it collided directly with the couple's established pattern: privacy above spectacle. And in Hollywood, privacy often becomes fuel for speculation. Here's what we know, and what we do not know. The spark reportedly came from remarks attributed to a stylist associated with Zendaya's work, described in multiple entertainment reports as someone connected to her professional circle. According to entertainment media coverage, the stylist made comments during a public appearance or interview that some interpreted as referencing Zendaya and Tom Holland as already married. The phrasing, as reported, suggested a celebratory tone, one that fans immediately linked to the possibility of a private wedding ceremony that had not been publicly announced. However, and this is critical, no official marriage records, public filings, or confirmed statements from either Zendaya or Tom Holland have surfaced verifying a legal marriage. Entertainment journalists quickly began clarifying the situation. Some outlets described the remark as likely casual or affectionate language rather than a literal confirmation of marriage. In Hollywood, referring to close couples as basically married is not uncommon. Others suggested the stylist's wording may have been misinterpreted or taken out of context. Then came the development that elevated the story from gossip to headline. Zendaya's mother reacted. While she did not issue a formal press statement, social media activity attributed to her appeared to dismiss or downplay the wedding speculation. According to entertainment coverage, her response suggested that the reports were not accurate. That reaction, brief as it was, changed the tone of the conversation. Instead of escalating wedding rumors, it injected skepticism. But it also created a new cue. If there was nothing to the story, why did it gain so much traction in the first place? And why did fans respond so intensely? Expert analysis, the legal and industry perspective. Let's approach this from a legal standpoint first. Marriage in the United States is a matter of public record in most jurisdictions. While celebrities can and do hold private ceremonies, legal documentation typically exists. There has been no credible reporting confirming that Zendaya and Tom Holland have filed marriage paperwork in California, New York, the United Kingdom, or other known locations connected to them. From an industry perspective, secret weddings are not unheard of. Celebrities such as certain A-list couples have previously tied the knot quietly, revealing the news months later. However, those cases typically involve either eventual confirmation or reliable insider verification. So far in this case, we have neither. What we have instead is a modern phenomenon: viral amplification. One comment, one interpretation, millions of impressions. In today's digital media ecosystem, nuance rarely survives the algorithm. Within hours of the stylist's reported remarks circulating online, hashtags began trending. Fans split into camps. One side celebrated what they believed was a romantic, fairy tale-level secret ceremony, praising the couple for protecting their love from public spectacle. Another side demanded proof. Others expressed frustration, arguing that speculation about private milestones crosses a line. TikTok creators dissected body language from past interviews. Instagram accounts reposted engagement ring photos, some years old. Reddit threads stretched into the thousands of comments. This wasn't just about a possible wedding. It became about ownership. In the age of parasocial relationships, fans often feel deeply connected to celebrity couples. Zendaya and Tom Holland represent something aspirational: young love, shared success, mutual admiration. When rumors of marriage surface, it feels personal to those who've followed their journey since the Spider-Man press tours. But here's the deeper layer. The intensity of reaction reveals how protective fans feel, not just of the couple, but of the narrative surrounding them. And that emotional investment magnifies every rumor. What this means for the future. At this point, absent official confirmation, the most responsible journalistic conclusion is simple. There is no verified evidence that Zendaya and Tom Holland are secretly married. That does not diminish their relationship. Nor does it dismiss the possibility that they could marry in the future. But it does highlight the fragile line between affection-driven speculation and factual reporting. Moving forward, there are a few possibilities. The couple may choose to ignore the rumors entirely, continuing their established pattern of privacy. They could address it indirectly in interviews, perhaps with humor, or they may one day confirm a milestone on their own terms. But the broader implication goes beyond one couple. This situation underscores the power of narrative in celebrity culture. A single comment can reshape headlines. A parent's reaction can redirect the story. And silence can speak volumes. Emotional human angle. Why do everyday Americans care? Because at its core, this story taps into universal themes. Love under pressure. Privacy versus public life. The tension between personal milestones and public expectation. Zendaya grew up in the spotlight. From Disney Channel beginnings to Emmy-winning dramatic performances, she has navigated fame with notable composure. Tom Holland, thrust into global recognition through the Marvel franchise, has openly discussed the psychological weight of celebrity. Together, they represent a generation of stars attempting to do things differently. Less spectacle, more intention. So when wedding rumors surface, it's not just gossip. It becomes a referendum on whether young Hollywood can maintain authenticity in a world that monetizes intimacy. And Zendaya's mother's reported reaction adds a layer of grounded reality. Family voices often anchor celebrity narratives. A subtle dismissal can cut through digital noise in ways official PR statements cannot. Strong call to action. As this story continues to unfold, one thing remains clear. In the era of viral headlines, discernment matters. What do you think? Was this a harmless misinterpretation? A stylist speaking casually? Or do you believe there's more beneath the surface? Let's have a thoughtful conversation in the comments. If you appreciate deep, fact-conscious breakdowns that separate speculation from reality, make sure you subscribe and turn on notifications. Because in a world driven by clicks, informed viewers matter more than ever. And this story? It may not be over yet. Reply next part when you're ready for part 2, where we go deeper into media psychology, past celebrity secret weddings, and the long-term implications for Zendaya and Tom Holland's public image. Because the truth is, in modern American celebrity culture, a rumor does not explode by accident. It detonates because the conditions are perfect. And in the case of Zendaya and Tom Holland, the cultural atmosphere was already charged. The media ecosystem that built the storm. Let's take a step back and look at the mechanics. A stylist connected to the world of Euphoria reportedly makes a remark that some interpret as referring to Zendaya and Holland in marital terms. It may have been affectionate. It may have been casual. It may have been misunderstood. But here's what matters. It was repeatable. In 2026 America, any statement that can be clipped, screenshotted, and reposted in under 10 seconds becomes content. And content becomes currency. Entertainment blogs aggregate the quote. Social media accounts paraphrase it. TikTok creators add dramatic music. YouTube thumbnails appear with wedding dresses photoshopped into the frame. Headlines are written carefully, often phrased as questions rather than declarations. Did Zendaya secretly marry Tom Holland? Stylist hints at private wedding? That question mark journalism is legally cautious, but emotionally explosive. Within hours, the story isn't about the stylist anymore. It's about the possibility, the fantasy, the imagined ceremony. And that's when Zendaya's mother's reaction enters the frame. Her reported response, interpreted by outlets as dismissive of the rumor, shifts the narrative from celebration to confusion. Now the internet has tension. And tension drives engagement. Why secret wedding stories hit differently? America has a long fascination with secret celebrity weddings. In an industry built on spectacle, red carpets, multi-million-dollar venues, designer exclusives, the idea that two global stars would quietly marry without press coverage feels rebellious, romantic, almost defiant. But history shows this isn't unheard of. Several major Hollywood couples over the years have revealed private ceremonies months after they occurred. In some cases, the secrecy protected intimacy. In others, it avoided media frenzy. And sometimes, it simply reflected personal preference. So when rumors surface about a couple like Zendaya and Tom Holland, two individuals known for valuing privacy, the theory doesn't feel impossible. It feels plausible. And plausibility is all the internet needs. However, plausibility is not proof. As of now, there are no verified public records confirming a legal marriage. No official statements. No confirmed documentation. And that distinction is critical. The psychology of parasocial love. To understand why fans reacted so intensely, we have to talk about parasocial relationships. Parasocial bonds are one-sided emotional connections people form with public figures. They're not delusions. They're a natural outcome of repeated exposure. When audiences watch interviews, behind-the-scenes footage, press tours, and social media updates, familiarity builds. Zendaya and Tom Holland's relationship unfolded publicly over nearly a decade, beginning around the era of Spider-Man, Homecoming, and continuing through sequels and global press events. Fans didn't just watch their careers grow. They watched their dynamic evolve. Inside jokes during interviews. Supportive comments on award nights. Subtle glances caught by cameras. For many viewers, especially younger audiences, This wasn't just celebrity gossip. It was emotional continuity, a narrative they felt part of. So when the possibility of marriage enters the story without their witness, it can feel disorienting. Not because they're entitled to it, but because emotionally, they've been along for the ride. That emotional investment amplifies every rumor. The role of family and celebrity narratives. Zendaya's mother's reported reaction carried weight for one reason above all: authenticity. Parents of major stars are often perceived as grounded anchors, less filtered than publicists, less strategic than PR teams. Even subtle social media activity can shift headlines. If her reaction suggested the reports were inaccurate, it introduces credibility. Not because it's an official legal statement, but because it feels personal rather than promotional. However, it's important to emphasize that no formal press conference or detailed explanation has been issued. The reaction, as reported, was brief. And brevity in moments like this is powerful. It neither confirms nor elaborates. It simply cools the temperature. But cooling the temperature sometimes intensifies curiosity. Because when something is denied lightly, without a full breakdown, the internet asks, is there more? Hollywood privacy in the streaming era. The Zendaya-Holland dynamic also reflects a broader shift in celebrity branding. There was a time when studio-controlled narratives dominated Hollywood. Relationships were orchestrated for publicity. Engagements were exclusive magazine deals. Today, the landscape is different. Stars built through franchises like the Marvel Cinematic Universe operate in a 24/7 digital ecosystem. Every airport sighting becomes a viral moment. Every jewelry choice is zoomed in on. In that environment, privacy isn't just preference, it's strategy. Zendaya, in particular, has cultivated an image of discipline and intention. Her career choices, from blockbuster films to complex dramatic roles, reflect long-term planning rather than impulsive fame-chasing. Tom Holland has similarly spoken about stepping back from social media at times for mental health reasons. So if the couple were to marry privately one day, it would align with their established values. But again, that possibility does not equal confirmation that media ethics and responsibility. From a journalistic standpoint, stories like this present a challenge. Entertainment media must balance audience interest with factual accuracy. Reporting on a stylist's comment is one thing. Presenting speculation as certainty is another. Responsible outlets have used conditional language. Appears, suggests, sparked rumors. Irresponsible amplification, however, often strips those qualifiers away once the content hits social media. A headline that reads, "Stylist hints at marriage," becomes a TikTok caption that says, "They're married." And by the time clarification circulates, the emotional reaction has already occurred. This is not unique to Zendaya and Tom Holland. But their global visibility magnifies the effect. The financial dimension. While there's no indication this rumor was orchestrated, it's worth noting that high-profile relationship milestones often impact multiple industries. Fashion brands monitor engagement ring speculation. Entertainment publications see traffic spikes. Streaming platforms benefit from renewed interest in past projects, including Euphoria and Marvel films. Romance rumors drive clicks. Clicks drive ad revenue. Again, that does not mean anyone involved engineered the story. But it does explain why such stories spread with lightning speed. What happens next? At this moment, the most grounded conclusion remains unchanged. There is no verified evidence confirming a secret wedding between Zendaya and Tom Holland. Zendaya's mother's reported reaction appears to push back on that narrative. The stylist's original remark, based on coverage, may have been interpreted beyond its intent. And unless the couple themselves choose to speak, the story will likely fade, replaced by the next viral headline. But here's the bigger question. Will this change how they approach public appearances? Sometimes, intense speculation pushes celebrities further into privacy. Other times, it prompts subtle clarifications during press interviews. Or they may simply continue as they always have, quietly, confidently, unbothered. The emotional core. Strip away the headlines, And this story becomes surprisingly human. Two young adults navigating extraordinary fame. Families caught in media crossfire. Fans projecting hope onto a relationship that feels stable in an unstable world. In a cultural moment defined by uncertainty, stories of enduring love resonate deeply. Even the possibility of marriage between two admired figures can feel like reassurance, a reminder that connection survives pressure. And perhaps that's why the rumor traveled so far. Not because it was confirmed, but because people wanted it to be true. A natural pause. We've unpacked the mechanics, the psychology, the industry forces, and the family dimension. In part 3, we go even deeper, examining past celebrity rumor cycles, how misinformation evolves in the age of AI-generated content, and what this moment reveals about the future of fame in America. If you value fact-based reporting that respects both curiosity and truth, stay with us. Reply next part when you're ready to continue.